Okay, guys. So again, good afternoon to everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday. I found that last night was a bit chilly. Not accustomed to that in Barbados. But nevertheless, we still have some really good sun now. So for today, again, I am going to be going through market analysis and just want to look and see what opportunities we have for the week. Last week we did have a fairly good start to the week where we were able to catch EuroCAD. And then we go into another trade for EuroCAD. So we got 100 pips off of EuroCAD. What else did we get? We are currently AGU and USDCHF and another trade for EuroCAD as well. So you guys should still have 3 trades actively running. Before I actually start from the top, let's go to those 3 active trades right now to see what's currently happening in the market. All right. So with EuroCAD, this is a trade that we have running at the moment. My analysis for this is that this high was broken over here, right? So we basically had, let me show you, we basically had a break of structure here, right? And then price came back in and gave us some type of a retest. And that's why I decided to take this buy from here, right? So for those who would have missed the session that I had on Wednesday, was very brief, but I shared an important point there. And the point that I shared was that last year, we looked at types of breakouts and we looked at waiting for a strong breakout to occur before we enter into a trade. This year, I want you guys now to look at strong breakouts and weak breakouts because you can trade both, right? I was mentioning this on Wednesday. So with a strong breakout, right? When price breaks structure, you more or less looking for a retest around structure to continue the direction of the trade, right? With a weak breakout, when price breaks structure, what happens is that price goes back into the zone, right? Into the previous zone and retest in there for then a continuation back up to the structure that was originally broken. So what I am basically trying to say is that there's an opportunity for you to trade for strong breakouts, and there's an opportunity for you to trade with weak breakouts as well, right? So that's a topic that I am going to focus on this month a lot because I want you guys to be able to see the different opportunities in the market, right? I want you to see different opportunities. So the difference, just quickly, is like, for example, here, if you look at here, right? It's probably just wrong here. We had price giving us a strong breakout because price did move away when it brought structure here. And then it came back and it gave us a retest and the MACD aligned with the retest, and therefore you would have been able to catch this trade, right? This would have been a strong breakout because price would have moved away from structure, right? So strong breakouts are when price move away from structure, right? Weak breakouts is when price breaks structure, but it hangs around structure still. So it doesn't directly move away. You cannot really see a space between price and structure, right? So you can see, like, for example, how, price is here chilling, there are a lot of wicks on structure and stuff like that. This is called a weak breakout, right? So with the strong breakout, you had a retest at structure. With a weak breakout, price came back into the zone and look for an area to retest, right? In this case, this is when utilizing the imbalance candle a lot comes in, because if you're gonna trade a weak breakout, right, it could be risky if you don't understand imbalance candles, right? If you don't understand which imbalance candle to use. So that's something that I'm gonna focus a lot on this month. So you guys can look out for that topic for sure. It's, well, really starting from Tuesday is when I will focus heavily on that. Okay. But yeah, so we had a weak breakout here on Eurocad, and that's why I call this trade here by this imbalance candle for the buy, right? So I'm looking for price to eventually continue to push to the upside, right? I had a 1 hour confirmation because the low was not broken, only the high. So I had a 1 hour confirmation for that buy. On the 4 hour time frame, right? On the 4 hour time frame, I am looking for price to come back up at least a 4 hour structure. Right? I'm looking for price to come back up to at least 4 hour structure. Right? So this is something I'm looking at. So you guys should still be in this. If you're not in it, just leave it alone for now unless price comes back to entry. But this is something I currently have running. USDJPY. Okay. So USDJPY. I call this for buy. Reason why is because structure was broken, right? So we had a break of structure. Price did move away, right? So we had a strong break, right? And then this was my imbalance candle here, my 4 hour imbalance candle that I identified, right? So what I'm really looking for price to do is to push up from here, but I'll keep my eyes on it. If it doesn't, then there's a high possibility that price probably will come back into the zone. All right. But there's not much risk involved, just about 24 pips. So we're gonna see. There's a possibility that price will just come down here to 115.493 before it turns around. But we will see. All right. But my analysis on this currently in the trade as well is that price would turn around within this zone, in this imbalance zone, and at least give us just around 100 pips. All right, so I still have this one running as well. And finally, I am in GBP USD, right? Still running, must say. Now, for GU, for those who remembered, who were here for quite some time, talked about channels a lot. I'm not really going to talk about channels or run through how it works right now or anything like that, because I don't feel that we need to do that, right? Because break of structure and retest is, it really seals the deal. Now, with this, what I had here is that I did not have my 1 hour low broken. So this is my 1 hour low here, right? So price did not break this structure, right? But on a lower time frame, that was on the 1 hour time frame, right? On a lower time frame, what I had was price breaking 15-minute structure, came all the way down here, and then basically what I'm looking for was for price to come here and retest to drop, right? So I am still watching this. I did realize that, you know, we did have aggressive push to the upside, back up to the high. It did not break the high, right? It did not break the high, so it'll be interesting to see what happens now. The risk is quite small as well, compared to the reward. So I'm gonna see if price can give us a push down, um, break this channel and come down at least to the 1 hour low. Right, so that's what I'm looking for with you, for price to at least come down to the 1 hour low. All right, so I'm gonna keep my eyes on this. If it does hit stop loss, that's fine. If it hits stop loss, then I would reassess and wait for a higher time frame structure to break. But I will remain in the trade until something happens. And that's another thing that I really want to stress on for, excuse my voice, guys. It's gonna be in and out, up and down like the markets, right? So that's one thing that I really want to stress on for this year, is allowing trades to just run. That's very important. Allowing the trade to run. If you're looking to build your account this year, if you're looking to to generate the figures that you want to generate, what is really important is not just patience, right? But if you set parameters in your MetaTrader 4 or your trading view or whatever, just let the trade run, right? And I think that for those who have been here from day one, you can definitely see how that is paying off, because in the beginning, we only used to look at 20 pips, 30 pips, right? When I used to trade under an organization, I wouldn't mention the name, but an organization, back then a lot of take profits were like 30 pips and 50 pips at maximum, right? But with the mindset I have now and the growth, right, I am able to comfortably allow a trade to play out its move. Because often enough back then, I would have taken a TP of 30 pips or even 20 pips. And then when I checked back the trade hours later, the trade went in the direction that I was looking for it to go, but I closed out my profits too early. So really and truly, one of the keys to success in trading that a lot of traders do not have is the patience of allowing a trade to do its thing. You have to let the trade breathe. You have to let the trade do its thing, legit, right? The reason why you have parameters set, such as a stop loss and a take profit, is to protect yourself either way, right? If you're going to be closing out a trade manually all the time, then what's the point of you setting the stop loss? That's how I see it, right? When you set a stop loss, you should already calculate the risk that you're willing to take, how much money you're willing to lose, right? Should GU hit stop loss, it's 24 pips. How much, is 24 pips in monetary value? Am I willing to lose that amount? So you have to know these things. I'm going to stress on it because I'm telling you from experience. All right. Years ago, when I first started teaching, I told people things based on what I saw from other people, based on what I read, based on videos that I watched and stuff like that. But it wasn't directly from experience at that point in time, because I was new to trading. I was new to coaching and new to trading. But now, with 5 years going into 6 years now of trading, I am speaking from experience and tell you the only way that you can be extremely profitable in this is if you allow your trade to do its thing. All right, so that's just a point I just really wanted to bring over. So let's look at the markets. Let's see what we have for this week. So Gonna start with the DXY. Yep, exactly, Marcia, right? So I'm gonna start with the DXY, and we have been consolidating for quite some time within this zone, right? So there's really no way, unless I drop down to 15-minute, to tell you what the direction of the DXY is going to be for right now. What I would say though is that the DXY did come to my imbalance zone, which is what I had anticipated last week, right? And then from this zone, I was looking for a price to push back up to the top of this structure, right? So, I mean, because it is consolidating here for quite some time, the only thing we can do is just watch, right? We can only just watch and see what happens here, right? But I am anticipating that price would turn around from here and push back up to the top of structure. But as I said, we'll have to watch and see. So what does that mean for the majors and well, not really the minors, but mainly the majors and metals, right? Okay, no problem. So what does that mean for the majors, right? It does mean that we would have to be patient in some areas, right? Because it means that price will be consolidating a lot. There are some pairs that you would be able to catch a trade with, and some you may not, right? So for Euro USD, for example, let me just go to the 4-hour time frame so that you can see. So Euro USD, for me, if I am going to take a trade in Euro USD, one or two things would have to happen, right? And I have them here. Either option 1 needs to occur or option 2 needs to happen for me to take a trade in Euro USD, right? So let's start with option 1. Why option 1, coach? Okay, so if you look to the left, right, I have an imbalance candle right here. So there's a possibility that when price comes into this zone, should it come back into this zone, right, that we can get a retest and a push back up to these highs. There is a possibility, right? If I am going to take a trade within this consolidation, I definitely have to be looking at trading smaller time frames because of the consolidation going on, right? Because of the higher time frame structure, right? So for example, I have a 1-hour high here that was broken. Price is coming up here. Now, if price does not break the original structure, which is up here, there's a possibility that when it gets up here, so push it a little more, it could turn around and, you know, it could turn around and find areas to retest and maybe consolidate some more and stuff like that. So it's very choppy, very flat market at the moment. So for me, I would watch for option 1 to see if I could get a retest in this zone. If I don't get a retest in this zone, I definitely would be waiting for option 2, which is waiting for structure to break. I think that that's what I am more leaning towards than getting into a trade within this consolidation. All right. I am more leaning towards waiting for structure to break because that gives me confirmation on the direction of Euro USD. And for me, is safer that way. All right. So that is Euro USD. For now, I would tell you guys lean more towards option 2. So let's wait to see if we can get structure, if we can see a possible break at structure before we can take something there. GBP USD, I just went through that. So I told you guys what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if price will push down. Odd USD. Okay. So Odd USD, we had a nice move last week where there was an imbalance candle here. There's a 1 hour low that was broken, which was here, and I spoke about it on Wednesday, right? So this low here was broken here, right? So price broke here. It didn't directly move away from structure. So we talked about weak breakouts. This is one, right? We talked about weak breakouts. This is one. So price didn't move away from structure. It broke structure, but it did not move away. And if we have a weak breakout, like I said at the start of the call, with the weak breakout, look for price to go back into the zone and look for an imbalance candle to retest to then continue the move down to give a strong breakout, right? So if you're making notes on this call, there's a possibility when trading structure, right? Let me just clear my throat. Right? So when trading structure, there's a possibility that a weak breakout would happen first before a strong breakout occurs. Right? A weak breakout would happen first before a strong breakout occurs. And you can see it here with this example. So we had a weak breakout, price came back into the zone, look for the imbalance candle to retest, which is what we had here. So everybody could see. Right? Nice area to enter. And for this retest, MACD aligned with it as well. And then price drop. So this was a fantastic trade. And what did it give us as well? It gave us a strong breakout this toss. So the weak breakout occurred first, price went back into the zone, retest, and then drop, giving us a strong breakout. So now, as much as I have this here, right? For price to potentially come back into this zone because this is a huge imbalance candle, right? This is a huge imbalance candle. I will still watch price here at structure because there is a possibility that price may not come all the way back into the zone. It may just come back and retest structure and drop. Why? Because we had a strong breakout. So weak breakout, look for retest within the zone. Strong breakout, look for retest around structure. I making sense? You guys following me?
Karen?
Yes, please.
Can you go back to that first circle, that little small circle, and explain what you did there again? Sorry.
This one here?
Yes, please.
Okay. So what we had here is that we had an imbalance candle created and then price broke structure, right? So if you look, so let me just do this. Let me take out all this. Let's look and see what really occurred. All right. So price broke structure here. How did I know that this was structure? If you looking at the MACD, you will see that the red histogram, the last red histogram is here, which is in alignment with here, right? So that gives us an idea of structure, right? So we had structure here and it was broken. So we having a confirmation that we can look to sell Odd USD because that's the first thing you want to find out, the direction of your trade, because price was consolidating for quite some time. So when you box in the consolidation, I want you guys to if you're not so strong in trading and you boxing consolidation, I don't want you to guess where the trade is going to go. I don't want you to guess the direction of the trade, right? Because remember, I spoke about being confident traders. I want the trade to tell you exactly where it's going. So I need you to be strong in that area, right? And the only way you're going to know that is waiting patiently for structure to break, whether it's to the upside or to the downside, right? So in a case like this, this was the last low based on the MACD. So structure broke here to the downside. So now we are a bit confident about the direction of our USD because we had a break of structure to the downside. So now we know that we're looking for selling opportunities, right? So once we've identified the direction of the trade, we then want to analyze the type of breakout that we had. So if you look, prices around structure, it did not move away directly. If you notice, we're still within that zone where structure is. So I would definitely call this a weak breakout because strong breakouts move far away from structure before they come back. So this is a weak breakout. When you have a weak breakout, look for price to break and go back into the zone, right? So it's going to go back into the zone that I originally broke out of, right? So look for price to go back into the zone. When price goes back into the zone, what it is doing is that it's looking for the imbalance zone to retest, all right? So if you look carefully, you will notice, right, that we have an imbalance candle here. So what price did was that price came in and it retested our imbalance zone. That's your area here for entry. Stop loss above here. All right, area for entry here, stop loss above here, easy for you to enter the trade. Right? So when we had the retest here, you look for that sell. What did we have next? The strong breakout, right? So weak breakouts happen first, strong breakouts happen after. So we had a strong breakout. Price moved away from structure completely, right? So as much as I'm saying here that I am looking for price to come back and fill some of this imbalance zone, I would definitely watch price here at structure because there is a possibility that price will just come back to structure, retest, and then continue to drop. But I am going to watch it because there are a couple of things to bear in mind. One, I have a huge imbalance candle, so it may not come all the way back up here, but it may come somewhere close to structure. All right, so definitely need to pay close attention to that. What I would do is that I would widen this a bit so we know the imbalance, and therefore we're looking for a retest within here. All right, so we're looking for price to retest in here and then continue to drop. So that's my analysis on USD. That explains it, Sharon?
Yes, please. I still what's the word? I'm still weak in imbalance candles.
Yeah. But you understand the structure part.
Yeah, you understand everything else. But I understand everything. It's just that sometimes it's difficult for me to recognize an imbalance candle on my own.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Understood. Iceberg. Iceberg? All right, probably not there. All right, so NZUSD. So NZUSD, similar movement to AUD-USD, same thing, right? If we look here, we had a weak breakout. So what the price do, came back in, right? It gave a retest here and then drop. What am I looking for now? I am looking for price to retest within this zone, right? Looking for price to retest in this zone and then give me a further drop, right? So that's what I'm looking for around here. So definitely keep your eyes on NZUSD. For this week as well, ready to like it. All right. Let's look at USD Swiss Franc. I called this trade last week, but like I said on Wednesday, I missed it personally. I didn't get into it. But USDCHF, this was a fantastic trade setup that I sent out on Monday. For anybody who managed to get into this, well done, congrats. It's still an active trade, but it was fantastic, fantastic setup. Right now, there's another opportunity coming up for USDCHF, and you want to make sure that you're in it. Why? Because I just talked about weak breakouts and strong breakouts, right? So can somebody tell me, right? Can somebody tell me what type of breakout is this?
Weak.
Thank you very much. Definitely is a weak breakout. So if it is a weak breakout, where are we looking for the retest to happen?
You think back in the zone?
That's right. So we're looking for the retest to happen within the zone, right? So if we're looking for the retest to happen within the zone, we need to identify an imbalance candle within the zone. The imbalance candle that is jumping out in front of my eyes right now, without me having to look too hard, right, is this one right here. So my question to the team is, do you agree? Do you agree that this is the imbalance candle? Can you see another candle in here where the body has a space and is not being touched by a wick left nor right of it? So let me explain. We already know imbalance candles, right? And for those who don't know, an imbalance candle, right, is a candle that you can see the body clearly. And when you look to the left and the right of that candle, there is no candlesticks or wicks. So it's basically in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of the air by itself, right? So what I mean by that is if you look here at these candles, to the left and right of every single one of these candles, there's either a body of another candle or there's a wick. An imbalanced candle, the body of the candle, right, is alone, is by itself. There's nothing to the left or right of it. Hopefully that explains it, right? So things like this is an imbalanced candle. This is an imbalanced candle. This isn't. right? So to identify an imbalance candle, you need to see the body of that candle, and it needs to be by itself, okay? So this being the imbalance candle that I identified, like I said, there is an opportunity with USDCHF that you guys can jump into again this week if you missed the first trade setup, and that is here. All right, so you guys can look for USDCHF to come back into this zone, all right? Come back into this zone. This should kind of give you an indication of what happened in the majors too, you know. It's kind of telling me that the Euro USD and GU and all those, that's gonna drop to the downside. Those are not breaking to the upside at all. It's gonna drop. Okay, so this is the trade with USDCHF, right? So just wait for price to come into the zone. The retest is currently happening, guys, on the MACD, right? Signal line about to cross over, right? So you guys can look for this move. Let me just look here, see where I expect it to go entirely. In the middle of a retest to on the forward time frame. I'm still looking for price to come back into this zone. All right. So you can get that, you can get 100 pip move there. Okay. All right. So very small risk, 15 pips, right? And the reward is 105 pips. Back up to that structure. So this is the move with USDCHF. I mentioned at the start of the call, a weak breakout happens first before a strong breakout occurs. And when a weak breakout happens, price comes back into the zone, looks for an imbalance candle to retest before it continues its move and breaks strongly. Okay, so we're looking now, once we get into this move, for price to give us a strong breakout to the upside. So I am in love with USDCHF. First favorite for the week. And I am not one that is big on chef pairs. I don't like trading chef pairs, but funny enough, the other majors are consolidating and not directly showing me a break of structure as such right now. And funny enough, USDCHF is giving me a clear picture, or a clearer picture than some of those majors. So I'm happy with this setup. All right. So first setup, first favorite for me for the week is USDCHF. Okay, so let's look at USD CAD. Let's see what's happening here. We're gonna push the downside on USD CAD. This is structure here. Right, this is structure here. And all right, that's structured there. So this is 4-hour structure. All right. Let's see what's happening on the daily. Prices going into a retest on the daily. Okay. All right. So For now, my analysis on USD CAD would be to wait for structure to break, right? I'm gonna wait for structure to break. Right? It's just a patience game here with this one. So I'm gonna wait for structure to either break to the upside, or I'm gonna wait for structure to break to the downside. Once I have that, whether it's a weak breakout or a strong breakout, then we will know how to move. Until then, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay? That's the
Karen,
analysis. Yes, please.
finish what you're saying, then I'm gonna ask you a question.
I finished.
Right. So you see, like, okay, like how we would say the last high is where you got the E line going there. But the last low I see in there is not where you have
You got it
your
here.
line. Yeah, so that is the issue for me now. So I sure what if I supposed to be looking at the last high and the last low as you say, or what? Because I kind of lost me.
Okay. And this low was based on my 4-hour time frame. When I have my Untitled time frame, right? I had done this based off of here. And this low not breaking. So if you look to the left at the holistic picture, you will see that this is 4-hour structure. So yes, the 1-hour structure, you are right, it is structure, but I was looking at this based on structure that I would have had for quite some time. Right? So this is 4-hour structure here, and price is failing to break. So that's why you would, when you're drawing up your chart, Sharon, try to do the top-down approach. So you would see that most of the times when they're doing charts, I will start from the daily time frame, right? And then I will come down and I will look at the 4-hour time frame, and then I will come down to the 1-hour time frame, because the 1-hour time frame is more for your intraday trades. It's more for you to zone in to see where you can enter in this within the next day or 2 days or whatever, what exactly you're looking at. You're zooming in on the picture. For the daily and the 4-hour time frame, you're having basically a holistic idea. Like you want to see the bigger picture. You want to see what's really happening. So that's why I look for structure to see what's happening first from the daily and the 4-hour time frame, and then it come down to the 1-hour time frame to plan my trade, right? But I can't plan my trade on USD CAD because notice when I first came to USD CAD and I look here, I saw this, and then I decided, let me go to the 4-hour time frame and see what's happening. Why? Because I couldn't get a clear picture on the 1-hour time frame. So I went to 4-hour time frame and noticed, okay, so we got 4-hour structure here. And price is basically at 4-hour structure. All right, price is basically at that 4-hour structure right now. So right now, dealing with the 1-hour structure for me is not really important anymore. More so dealing with this structure to see what happens. Because if price breaks my 4-hour structure, then I know I continue to the downside. But this structure is more powerful than the 1-hour structure. All right. So that's what I paid close attention to that. All right. So start from daily and just come down to see 4-hour and then the 1-hour to then plan the setup. So for me right now, yes, I'm not saying that you're entirely wrong, because we do have 1-hour structure here that was broken. So definitely what we could expect if you're planning your trade based on that is that we could look for potentially the trade to come back up to here or to structure, give a retest, and then continue down. That's still right. It's still correct. You're right. But because it is at 4-hour structure, I decided to work on waiting to see what happens there. I don't like hold this up for that. But that's USD CAD. So I don't have anything on USD CAD right now other than waiting to see what happens next. I already told you guys for USDJPY, I would like to see a push to the upside. Let me see the daily. Let me see the daily high was broken as well. Let me see the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame gave me some momentum to the downside though. Possibility that we might just get a touch of structure and a push up. We will see. As I said, I am in this trade as well. So the 4-hour is going in for a retest. Right? So a retest is coming on the 4-hour time frame. All right, so we may still get that push up, but we'll see how it progresses. Okay, gold. Yeah, so let me start from the daily. So I spoke about gold on Wednesday as well. We had a really nice setup from gold on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we had I was showing how we could have entered price here for the sell. Right. So my analysis on gold right now, we had a slight break of structure. So I am still looking for gold to come into this zone. Let me go up to my 4-hour time frame. Let me get this imbalance zone properly. Right? We had a weak breakout, very weak. So with gold, let's see if we can get this. And then a strong breakout to the downside to here. Yeah. Overall, I'm actually looking for price to come into this zone. That's why I have my purple lines around it. All right, because this is an imbalance candle here. I noticed that when price broke to the upside, it never came back and tested in here. So this imbalance candle is still waiting to be filled, basically. So we have an opportunity to go to get a nice sell. So let's see if we can get a retest here. Let's see if the MACD will align with us when price comes up into this zone, get a retest, and then we could take the sell down to here. All right, let me look at the forward to see how the MACD looking. All right, that should push us up to here. So what I would say is when price comes up to here, let's wait for a 4-hour retest because there's a possibility that we can get a 4-hour retest when price comes up into here. In other words, wait for the signal line to come back over. And then look to take the trade. So let the price come up to here. Let's see if we can get the 4-hour MACD to come around and confirm our sell, and we can get this move. And this is a really nice move. This is about 400 pips in gold. So definitely look out for this as well this week. All right. With gold, let's look at the euros. See what's happening with the euros. See if we have any opportunities with the euros. Because I know some of them didn't come into my zone. So EJ still gonna leave Euro JPY for now, right? I had a breaker structure here on EJ, 4-hour time frame, right? But price is creeping to here. So there is a possibility that when price gets up into this imbalance candle, right, we get that. Right, so right now, nothing on Eurogbp. I'm gonna watch price creep for now. Euro odd. Right. Mentioned to you guys, I had a come down to 1 hour time frame. I'll show you. I had a breaker structure here. High broken. Right, breaker structure. What I was really looking for was for your odd to give me a drop similar to your CAD and come and activate this order to take us back up to here. But likewise with Eurogbp, price is also creeping back up to these highs. Okay, no problem. Right? So, and we have a very strong breakout happening. Right? So as much as I would have liked to see us activate this order here, at least not right now. So I would probably leave Euro all alone for now. Let's see how it sets up during the week. If I can get a sharp movement or price coming back here, then you know for sure that ideally I'll be getting in for a setup here. Right? Until then, I would wait. I'm gonna show you something now. Right? I'm gonna show you something now. So you see this? No. So I already showed you guys how it was broken. Gonna remove that. You see these 3 candles here? This is a 4-hour imbalance candle around structure. Remember that this is structure here. All right, so this is a 4-hour imbalance candle. This breakout is not weak. This is a strong breakout. So if I have a strong breakout, the retest is more likely gonna happen around structure, right? So if price doesn't come into this zone to activate here, there's a high possibility that we would get price doing this. Coming into here, test in here, and then continuing up. If it doesn't, and it drops lower, it will definitely come into here. All right, so 2 possibilities. What I would do is that I'm gonna keep my eye on it and let you guys know which scenario is likely to play out. If I like it at all, and if I would take it, if I would take the setup. But I'm gonna keep my eyes on both scenarios, all right? So scenario number 1 is price coming and retesting this structure. Right? Scenario number 1, I'm gonna just put this here so you can see. So number 1, right? Or scenario number 2, right? So I am gonna watch to see how my MACD and everything lines up and let you guys know which one I am more in favor of, if any at all. Because if I'm not confident about it, I'm not gonna enter it. But those are the two scenarios. Okay. That's your odd. We already talked about your CAD, your NZD. Your NZD similar to your odd. I had a break of structure here. All right. Still looking to see if I could get price to come into here. I come up to here, right? Come into the zone, retest, and then come up to there. So I'm waiting for price to give me some movement to the downside because similar to your JPY, this is still creeping up. So it is a strong breakout, right? It did break the high here, but in order for me to express any interest into Euro NZD, I would need to see some momentum to the downside so that I could plan for my retest better. Okay. Next one. All right. Eurogbp. I'm not sure if anybody looked at this. I sent this out last week too, where I said when price was up here, I said wait for price to come into this zone, then it's gonna buy. All right. So price is definitely starting to make its move to the upside. What you guys can do to be on the safe side of things is you can wait for this 1 hour high now to break. All right, because this is a 1 hour high. So the analysis for Eurogbp is wait for a break and retest, and then we could continue to the upside. Okay. Right. GBPs, we're gonna finish off with GBPs for today. So let's just see what we have so far, if anything. So GBP, JPY. Oh, 4 hour structure here. All right, price broke structure, 4 hour high. So we had a strong break. Let me see if I can get this. We had a strong break to the upside. All this broke structure, 4 hour high, right? This is the next high here. There's a possibility that GJ might come up and test this high first before it does anything else. I would watch for this. And if this doesn't happen and price creeps up to these highs, which is here, right? Because this is a possibility. And price comes up to here, I will look for a sell on a lower time frame, like 1 hour time frame. All right? I will look for a sell on a 1 hour time frame. How would I look for a sell on a 1 hour time frame? Real quickly, is if price comes up to here, very simple, guys. Look for a 1 hour structure. So right now, if you look, you will notice first, this is 1 hour structure here. All right. So if another structure is formed up here, then you just need to reanalyze, but just wait for structure to form, wait for a break, retest, and sell. So just follow structure as it moves, right? We already identified that 4-hour structure was broken here. If I don't get a retest, because ideally I would like a retest to buy, right? But there's a possibility that I can get a trade on a lower time frame, which is a 1-hour time frame. Remember, we talked about the process, right? Last year, we talked about the process where I told you that you may be in a different stage on a higher time frame, and all you need to do is repeat the cycle on a lower time frame to catch the moves in between, right? So what I am saying is that I had a break of structure on the 4-hour time frame, right? So really and truly, if I had a break, I'm looking for a retest here, right? I am looking for a retest here to take a buy on GG. However, what I'm also saying is that should price continue to come up to this high for now, you may get an opportunity to get a trade before that buy happens. So all you need to do is follow structure. We have a 1-hour low here. We have structure out here. If price breaks my 1-hour low and it retests, you can get a sell position here and take that sell to the 4-hour structure. That's 184 pips. I'm just saying. Alternatively, you could wait for price to come down here and give you the retest and then look to get him for the buy. But what I'm saying, if you're looking for opportunities within the week, as you get stronger with this strategy, as you start to feel confident with this strategy, you will notice that you may be in a different cycle on a bigger time frame, but you may be able to trade another cycle on a lower time frame. So you may be waiting for a retest on a daily or a retest on a 4-hour time frame, right? To continue to buy. But on a 1-hour time frame, you may be able to get these sell to take you to that retest. So I hope that makes sense, right? So so that's what I'm looking for with GJ. So nothing right now. Keep your eyes on it. GOD was looking at this, to be honest. Still looking at it. Still looking to see if we could get price come up to here. And then so I'm not going to run through this particular trade setup right now. I can on Tuesday, because this is gonna take some time for me to explain why you're looking for this sell. Right? So I will run through this one on Tuesday, but just for you to note, I'm looking to see if we could get a sell here. But I'll keep my eyes on it. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna run through that on Tuesday in the class. We will talk about that then. Anything on GSHF? Not really interested in GSHF, to be honest. I had break the structure here. For anybody interested in GSHF, I personally won't trade it, but chef pairs more or less gonna move together. All right, so potentially look for this retest here, imbalance candle here. Look for that retest, and then you can look to buy. All right. GBP and ZD. Am I seeing anything? I'm gonna so wrap it up, guys, because my voice telling me I had enough. All right. GBP NZD. Wait for retest here at structure. We had a break of structure. But you can see that. We had a break of structure here. All right. So just wait for retest. I'll look to buy. That's my forward time frame. All right. But nothing on GBPs right now. Nothing on GBPs at the moment. GCAD. Just coming down, right? Anything on GCAD? Nothing right now. Not that I can't see anything that I am interested in with GCAD right now, to be honest, right? So, guys, so like I mentioned, I started call. I am in GU, still running, all right? Still running as an active trade, looking for it to come down. USDJPY, looking for it to give me a push up, but we will see. Eurocad, still looking for this to push up and give us a good set of pips. Absolute favorite for the week, definitely will be taking this trade, is USDCHF. If there's one trade that is a favorite for this week, is USDCHF. So just gonna wait for price to come into here. If you want, you can go ahead and set the limit order, because I tend to do that now, especially given that I tend to be a bit more busier with work and stuff like that, and whatever else is going on. When prices come in close, so the only time I set a limit order is when price is close to my entry, and when my MACD is close to the retest. In other words, my confirmations are there. It's just a matter of waiting a bit more for me to market execute the trade. That's when I set a limit order. So I say that to say that USDCHF is close to my entry, and my MACD signal line is also about to touch my retest. My is about to cross over into my retest. So you can go ahead when the market's open, and set a limit order. The entry would be 0.91692. Stop loss is 0.91692 is the entry. Stop loss in red, 0.91535, right? And TP is 0.92751, which is 105 pips. This is my absolute favorite for this week so far, right? So don't miss the setup, guys, because it's really nice. Outside of that is NZUSD, looking to see if I can get a retest in here and then a continuation to the downside for 80 pips, not too bad, right? Then there's gold, right? Gold, looking to see if I could get a retest here, right? Because I had a very weak breakout, so I'm looking for a retest back within the zone, and for us to then potentially catch this 400 pip move. This is a fantastic move, and I would really like to get into it. So let's see what happens there. And then finally, Eurogbp. Wait for this 1 hour high to break, a retest, and then look to buy, and we can potentially catch that buy back up to this zone. All right. So guys, that's it for today. We had a great start to the year last week. We caught 100 pips on Eurocad, and then we're still in it. So I definitely looking forward to what this year has to bring. Keep your focus on. Might I let you guys know that my focus is on a whole nother level. That's the truth, right? So I am going to encourage you. I'm going to send the energy, my energy to you as well, and let you guys know that if you want change, if you want to see something different for yourself, if you want to experience something different for yourself this year, the only way it's going to happen is if you change something within you, your daily habits. Whether it is a small change or a big change, you are in control of your environment, right? And I really, really, really want to remind you guys about that. You are in control of your environment. So if you want change, you have to make the change happen, right? So if you want to do well in trading this year, and just saying, oh, me on coach. And some students starting to show you guys that. Even Iceberg does talk about that. It's about you, your focus, your practice, your execution. It's about your discipline. It's about what you put in. And that's very important. It's about what you put in. You have to be willing to put in the work, and it's paying off. Hi, Vicky.
Hi.
Hi. Right? And you guys have the strategy. Phenomenal strategy, guys, that we have here. And I told you guys at the end of December, I will not be changing the strategy. This is the strategy. You have it. So the only difference between where you are at now, where you want to be, is the execution. Because you got the strategy, not changing the strategy. And that's a fact. Right? So I'm going to encourage you guys, please use the pits and charts folder. I'm begging you to do that. Why? Because I'm asking that you guys see that you want a change, and therefore the only way that you're going to see it is if you start practicing it. I created the folder so that you guys can post all of your charts in there. So please utilize it and post your charts so that myself, Iceberg, and Delano and Kamar can help in areas where we see that you may need some assistance. We can offer some feedback. We can even see some of the trades that you're taking. We want to see how you guys are thinking. We want to see how you guys are thinking. So please, guys, please utilize the pits and charts and post your charts so that we know and we can see and we can help. Right? So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so